Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is the final video in this little tutorial. I don't really know what it's called. A little series of Cubase tutorials. And yep, in this one I'm just going to show you some little extra features that I've come across over the years. Like things to make life a whole lot easier while using Cubase. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first one is, see this project window here? And if let me just make this really big so I can demonstrate. So if you have loads of projects, the window scrolls like this. But I like to see my markers and also my arranger thing at all times. I like that to be stuck to the top of the screen, as well as the seconds as well. So you can actually create a second project window and just stick it to the top. And to do that, I'm just going to click this button over here, the divide track list button. So now we can see we've got two separate project windows that actually scroll separately. And you can drag things between these windows. So I'm going to drag in the seconds up there. So we always have that stuck to the top. And then I'm going to drag the arranger chain up there. And I'm going to drag the marker chain up there. And then I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. So now them three channels will always stay at the top of the screen. So no matter how many different instrument channels I have or audio tracks I have, I can always see the arranger track, the marker track, and the seconds track. The second thing on my little list is how to change the track colors. So you've probably seen loads of clips on YouTube and photos of people having really colorful projects and stuff, and you're thinking, how the hell do I do that? Well, I've got you covered. What you want to do is just select an instrument that you want to change the color of. Go up here to the select color thing. If you don't have any of these tools, by the way, if you right click on the top bar somewhere where there's no icon, you can hide and show different tools. So if you don't have the color menu selected, then that's where you find that. Make sure that's selected. And yeah, we're just going to click on the color and change the color. Let's have it blue. And let's do the guitar green. I have these named already, by the way, because I use the same colors for all the different instruments. Strings, I always have red. Where's my red? There it is. And drums, I always have yellow. Percussion. Another way to do this is go to Project at the top and go to Project Colors Setup. And you can change all of your colors here. If you click on one of these, you can select the color from this and also name it. If you go to presets as well, there's loads of different things. Like you can just select these and go to options then and store color sets as default. And that will then, every project you start in Cubase will have that same color set by default. So that's how you get colors. Right, another little tip is, this is similar to the group channel that we used in one of the videos. And this little tip is a VCA fader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the mixer. The project colors, by the way, actually show up on the mixer, which is pretty cool. That's only in Cubase 11, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Control on my keyboard. And I'm just going to select these four instruments. And then I'm going to right click on one of them. And then click Add VCA Fader to Selected Channels. And that will then create this little colourful link called a VCA link. And this is slightly different to the group channels because you can't add effects on this. You can see here there's no E button. So I can't actually add effects, but I can control the faders. And you'll notice that the faders move with the VCA fader. So because I have these linked to the group channel still, when I move the group channel, these faders don't move. It just controls the volume of everything. But the faders didn't move at all. Whereas the VCA fader controls the volume of everything and the faders. The way I would use this is I would always put every single instrument in my mixer onto a VCA fader. And that way, if I get something that's clipping, so say how it's clipping there. Instead of going through every single instrument then and turning everything slightly down because my project is too loud, instead of doing that, I would just bring this one fader down. And that'll bring everything down for me. Just a quick and easy way to do everything. And you're also keeping the right volumes between the instruments as well, because when you start messing with things individually, you start messing things up. So say I want to move everything down by 5 decibels, it's going to start messing up things. Whereas I can just do it like that. Be a lot easier. But as I say, you can't add effects to these channels. It's just purely for the fader alone. Right then, so the next tip on my list is to use analyzers a whole lot. And I can't stress this enough. So let's go into the mixer. On the stereo out, everything always ends up at the stereo out channel on a mixer. So on the stereo out, let's open up the settings, the inserts and stuff. You can add effects to the stereo out as well, but we're not going to do that at all at the moment. Instead, we're just going to add analyzers. So the one that comes with Cubase Pro 11 is called Supervision. And I've done a whole video on this, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it already. And this is Supervision. It basically tells me everything that's going on in my song. So I can see the whole audio waveform at the bottom. I've got a correlation meter, so I can tell if things are too wide or too like mono. I can see the left-right panning. I can see a timestamp, so I know this is at 6 seconds now. I can see the EQ curve. So I can see if something, like say there's no frequency here, I could think, oh, maybe this needs boosting on an EQ somewhere. I've got a mid-side EQ thing on the side here. And I've also got this little handy tool. It's called Spectra Layers. I've done a whole video on Spectra Layers as well. It basically shows you what's going on in the background of a sound. So I'll just press play. The low frequencies are bass notes and the high ones are high notes. It's useful that for picking out background sounds in stuff like vocals. So if there's like a click on a vocal, I can use spectral layers to identify where it is. I can also go in and just remove that one click in the background of a vocal track. It's amazing stuff. I don't know how it works, but it's really good. And this side panel here shows me the true peak and also integrated loudness. That's for mastering. If you want to know more about mastering, check out my video on mastering. I'll leave the links in the description as well, so yep, check out the description for all the links. The last thing I have to say is about mastering. Like I said, I've done a whole video on this in the past, and mastering is basically just a way of getting your song as loud as possible and as clear as possible. So when you've finished mixing, your song will not be as loud as a professionally released song. What you need to do is then go into another stage and master it. So there's basically 3 stages of a song being recorded. There's the writing of the song, and then there's the mixing of the song, and then there's the mastering of the song. And the mastering is where you get your loudness. And if you want to know how to do that, how I do it and stuff, then check out my video on mastering. I'll leave the link in the description. And that's basically it. I hope this little tutorial, I don't know what it's called, a Cubase tutorial series. I hope that's helped in some way. And yep, I'm going to make an appearance right now. There's me. So that's basically it for this tutorial series. I hope it's helped in some way. And yep, let me know if you need any help with anything in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. and subscribe. You've not subscribed yet. Why have you not subscribed? It's just a click down there. You've forgotten to click that subscribe button. Go and do it. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.